You're all welcome to Freedom Science Academy. Without wasting much of the time, today we are going to look at chemistry. We are going to look at chemistry. So, under this chemistry, we are also going to look at a topic, and the topic we are going to look at is separation techniques. So, under these separation techniques that we are looking at today, we are going to look at a subtopic. The subtopic is decantation. So, at this point, we are looking at a subtopic. The subtopic the subtopic which is decantation. Then at this point, decantation is all about separation of a liquid from a solid or a liquid with a careful running down of the top liquid surface from the other part of it. What I'm trying to say is that, for instance, the issues of if you have benzene and you have mixed with water, when you have benzene and water mixed together, because of their separate in density, the two of these substance will be at a different level. So at this point, when they are at a different level, you can decant it. Or another issue, if you have maybe sand and water, sand plus water. So at this point, we are having a solid and water. So at this moment, we're having solid and liquid. This particular situation, when the two are mixed together, you can separate the two through a decantation process by removing the top surface, this top one, which is the water, from the sand. Or for example, you have the level of sand that you can, maybe you have a clay sand, a clay soil plus water. So at this point, we have clay, soil, and water. What you do at this point is that, because if you look at the two of them when they mix together, what you see is that the upper surface is going to be of a different color because of the water, and the down part you're going to see a different color, which is because of the clay soil that's already mixed together. So when you allow them to settle for a period of time, you see that there will be a separation of this clay soil and the water. So the separation between the clay soil and the water, at that particular moment, you will now carefully run the top surface, the top one, which is the water, away from the clay. Let's take for example, maybe you have a beaker. You have a beaker, and in this beaker you have a beaker like this. Then you have a mixture of clay soil or dirty water, a dirty water. You have a dirty water which is inside a container. You allow it to stay for a period of time. After leaving it for a period of time, this is the water, the mixture of water and, let's say, clay soil or insoluble particles, or some insoluble particles. Let's take insoluble particles. You have insoluble particles. So these insoluble particles, we have this with water. Have this with water. You allow them to settle for a period of time, let's say for 30 minutes, for an hour, or more than 1 hour. You see that these two substances that were mixed together, it will get to an extent where these two particles will separate. These two particles will separate, and at this point you will now see that there will be a boundary between them. There will be a boundary between them. The heavy one or the clay will go to the bottom. While the clean one, these are the clean liquid, and the dirty liquid. So the clean and the dirty liquid, with the clean liquid will be on the top, while the dirty one will be down. So what you do at this moment, you carefully run it down. Carefully run the upper part of it. Maybe you bring another beaker. When you bring another beaker, you when you bring another beaker, you remove the clean one, which is the one that you're going to put at this point. Then that is you are doing transfer. So you will now be transferring with you run it carefully, gently, so that this mixture that have already settled down from this upper clean one will not go into this. So at this point of from the separating the clean one, separating the clean one from the dirty one is called decantation. Because what you are doing is that you are separating the clean one from the dirty one of a mixture of water and a dirty soil, maybe soil samples or soil particles that was already dissolved. And you see that during dissolving, it will now form a cloudy surface, a cloudy liquid. And that cloudy liquid will now settle for a long period of time, maybe for like 1 hour or a few minutes or more than that. Will now settle for a period of time, and they will now separate into layers. The two layers will now have the clean one and the dirty part of it, which will be decant, which will now be turned to another container like this. Then you now have the clean water. Let's say clean water here. Then inside here, you now have the dirty water with particles. With particles. So we are saying that when you separate the two sample from when you separate the two sample through a means at which the clean one will settle at the top and you run it off, and remaining the dirty one is referred to as what decantation process. So do well to subscribe to Fidel Science Academy so that when next I drop more videos on this, you also be can also take part in it. Learn, come to Fidel Science Academy so that you can learn more about chemistry, some basic chemistries, and its applications. So we are saying that this type of thing you can also apply it both in the industries. Maybe, for example, you have your water, and you have some other particle that dissolve in it. What you do, you allow it to settle for a long period of time, and once you allow it to settle for a long period of time, the water will separate from the dirty particles. Then you now pour away the top part of it, which is the clean one. And that clean one that you remove at that particular moment, when you remove after settling for a period of time, and it now separate from the dirty one, and you have the dirty one and the clean one on the top, which you now turn it to another separate container or a beaker. At that particular moment, when you separate them, they are referred to as what? Decantation, because it has settled for a period of time before you can be able to get the good part of it, which is the clean one, from the dirty one. Thank you so much. Do well to subscribe to Fidel Science Academy so that when next I drop more video, you should be part of it. Thank you so much.